Dogs. They're a man's best friend. We've heard of guide dogs, dogs on farms and sniffer dogs, but not many of us have heard of dogs that open doors, undress you, and help disabled people with day-to-day household chores that most of us take for granted. Midhurst is a home to Canine Partners, a small charity that trains dogs to carry out such tasks.
Canine Partners trains assistance dogs to help people who have disabilities, primarily people who are wheelchair users, perhaps with conditions like multiple sclerosis or cerebral palsy. Occasionally, people with disability who's ambulant will also approach Canine Partners for an assistance dog. The assistance dogs help out by doing a range of task work, both around the home and out in town. So the kind of work that the dogs will do is retrieving items that perhaps somebody drops or may need from around the home, like a phone to get help in an emergency or an inhaler. The dogs also do a lot of tugging work to help. So, for example, tugging doors open and closed, tugging people's clothes off, perhaps tugging an item closer to you if it's too far away. The dogs will also use their noses and their paws to operate switches. So that might be out in town, hitting a lift switch or a pedestrian crossing button, maybe hitting an alarm phone again to get help in an emergency. So a range of task work.
One person who's benefited from the work of Canine Partners is Eileen. She and Sailor have been partners for 6 years.
The main disability I've got is a rare neurological condition called Stiffman syndrome. It basically affects messages going from the brain to various parts of the body, the muscles. Sometimes this message that if I wanted to say move a foot, sometimes the message just doesn't get to the foot. Other times it'll get to a muscle, but probably the wrong leg or maybe an arm or something. It gets a bit confused. The impact this has on me is that I can't do the stuff that I was able to do as an able-bodied person. Getting undressed is difficult and is very tiring. If I want to open and close doors, then I have a problem because I can't get close enough to the doors. I used to have to always ask a human, can you open that door, can you close that door, can you pick that pen up off the floor. To describe Sailor, I couldn't do it in a few words. He's a miracle, basically. He didn't just change my life for the better, he actually gave me a life. Before I got him, I never went to a park. Why would I go to a park? I didn't go out that often, but now because I've got him, ever since I've got him, he's got to go out. He's got to go out. So that means whether I feel like going out or not, we go out. And it doesn't matter whether it's raining, snowing, hailing, we go out. Looking back as to how I was before I got him, there's now no comparison. There's just no comparison. He's fine, he helps me, he's a worker, but he's part of my family. He is my family. I don't feel a whole person unless, he's with me.
So with dogs like Sailor making such a huge difference to people's lives, why isn't Canine Partners as well known as it should be?
Canine Partners isn't as well known as some of the other assistance dogs charities, mainly because it hasn't been going as long. Guide dogs obviously are the best known, and they've been around for about nearly 80 years now. But I guess they weren't that well known at the beginning. But we are getting better known. We've had quite a lot of television recently, which is the way to really spread the word to as many people as possible. And it's my job in the charity to try and raise awareness in print media and broadcast media. And also with all the partners that we've got out there walking around with their dogs, they're a walking advert for us as well. Anyone who has a disability who thinks that they could really benefit from the help that a dog could give them would be eligible. And to apply for a dog, they can either obviously go to the website and apply online, or just give us a call, talk through it with us, and then the application procedure starts. We will send out an application form, and then we'll go and have a home visit, and that's when we can really assess if they understand how a dog is going to impact on their life, because obviously having a dog coming into your life, it changes everything about everything that you do on a daily basis, and it's not going to be right for absolutely everybody. So we need to make sure that they understand that the dog needs exercise every day, that it needs grooming, feeding, and all of those things. But we also then say, obviously, the benefits that you'll get from the dog will be huge.
And once those 2 stages are passed, you're placed on the waiting list for around about 18 months. That's the length of our waiting list, approximately a minute. And then once you're at the top of your waiting list and we find a dog in advanced training really is going to suit your criteria and your lifestyle, we'll invite you in. You work with the dog for a couple of days. When we're sure that it's definitely a match and you look good together, we invite you on a 2-week course and train you up how to work together. And beyond that moment, we always provide aftercare for the dog, so you're never left alone with the dog. We'll go in regularly to check that you're well and the dog's well and to help you out with training more tasks.
I really hope the future for Canine Partners is growing in terms of helping more people with disabilities to have one of our dogs. That's our whole reason for being. There are 1.2 million wheelchair users in this country, and a huge number of those could benefit from a canine partner. Now, obviously, we can't support or train dogs for all of them at the moment, but if we can help just a few more people to have some independence back in their life, plus the companionship of a dog, then that's really what we want to do. We are hoping to open another centre up in the Midlands in the next couple of years, and that will allow us to train more dogs, take more puppies in, train them and place them with more people. So that's our aim for the immediate future.